Hello, baby.
I was crazy once.
I'm thinking of a number.
Bop, bop, ba-da-da.
Oh my god, the Joker's here.
Yeah, that's right. I'm spreading
It
my
doesn't-
news.
I'm spreading my nudes.
My news.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Does
yeah,
he do
I'm spreading my nudes, actually.
New York, and
Anthony
Joker
Weiner.
or Joker 2?
I don't
I don't think so.
think so. All I think of is in Joker 2 is my life.
Yeah.
And that's all I got. You know, when he's just holding
he's
that thing
always
in the,
smoking
in
in
the
that
rain or
movie.
whatever. You know, and who isn't, by the
That's
way?
right.
It's New York, baby.
It's freaking
I
New
mean, or I
York,
guess
baby.
Wait, is Gotham in the Joker New York?
I think it's in the
thought it was
state of
Chicago.
New York. No, I think in the comics it's in Jersey, but I think in the Joker movie it's New York because they do say like the Joker versus the people of New York or something like that. That's like the court case. I don't think they call him Joker.
Oh yeah.
Do you think he went to the
That's
judge
right.
and is like, by the way, can you call me
Joker?
Joker?
Yeah, because it's like Arthur Fleck versus like the state of New York or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, but also isn't in the Penguin? I think it's back to being in
It's
Jersey.
back in
I feel like.
Jersey, yeah, and it looks
That's
so
right.
much like Jersey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they all sound like they're
They
from
all they're all
Jersey.
doing crazy accent.
What am I looking at over here?
I really
I
who's
love
the really
him.
hoarse voiced guy. He's like Irish or something, or like British, but he's doing a crazy New York accent in Batman. He's one of the
yeah.
cops.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Gordon,
arrest
you're finished. yeah. I'm the commissioner.
Yeah, he's great. I love this guy. I love that actor.
Yeah, he plays Israel Hands
Yeah.
in Our Flag Means Death. I love you, Blackbeard.
He's really good in
Because they're all
Chernobyl.
gay. Okay.
Yeah, Pirates.
Yeah, another. That's I'm at Radioactive Pirates.
Radioactive Pirates. Hold on. I think we just came up with a
sounds like the
movie
best.
here.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Hey, Steven Spielberg. I got another movie idea for
Hey,
you.
little Stevie Spielberg.
Hey, little Sammy Fableman.
Yeah.
We gotta watch. We gotta talk about that movie. We keep
I
talking about
love
it.
the
We gotta- we
Fablemans,
gotta-
man. I'm a Fablehead.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm a man of fables, actually. So.
He should have ended the movie by
well-
saying that, like telling, like, John Ford.
What should we call you, Steven Spielberg?
By the way, when you make this movie, can you introduce me as Steven Spielberg? And Mark Maron's like, what the hell? I'm not gonna do that.
The human spider.
Another Joker King of Comedy version where instead of the Joker, it's Steven Spielberg, and instead of Murray, whatever his name is, it's Mark Maron.
Mark Maron's in that movie. He plays Murray's like assistant or PA or director or something
That's
like
right.
that.
Yeah.
I watched it before we watched Joker 2 and I forgot. I'm like, Maron's in this? But Maron is in
You guys
this.
see how like everyone's like, you guys just didn't get Joker 2. Like it's good actually.
Yeah. Did people say that?
Yeah, you didn't say, dude, my For You page on TikTok was all about that for a while.
Okay.
Mine was
I
the
follow,
opposite.
like,
Mine was the affirming that it was a bad movie.
no, because it's like no, like it's supposed to be like a fucking downer of a film, but like there's nothing wrong with the downer of a film. I think it's just not done well.
It's just a
So
bad movie.
It should have
Just a
been
bad movie.
It was
okay,
boring,
more
dude.
musicals, less boring courtroom stuff that's just rehashing the first movie. I don't know.
yeah, that's our take. Welcome to our
Joker
movie hot
cast.
takes.
Yeah.
Joker takes.
Joker takes.
JTs. This is gonna affect the tour.
That's right.
Yeah. Which tour? The World,
The
Tour. Thank you very much.
Speaking of world tours, starting with one
That's
city.
right. Yeah, starting with a city 3,000 miles
Yes,
away.
but next
On the
you're
opposite
going
coast.
you're going to Calcutta, and
That's
then
right, okay.
you're going to Timbuktu,
That's right.
and then
Mhm.
Shanghai.
And get the Spencer. Here's the thing. You won't believe the timeline I've made for that.
Yeah.
This trip, the next trip, actually.
Okay.
You want to guess? You want to guess how long this is gonna take me?
180 days, or just 80 days, 127 hours.
Yeah, either one of those is good. Actually, it's 80 days.
It is 80 days around the world and 80 plates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yum, yum, yum. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Style and Direction, a Menser podcast without the stuffiness. I am one of your hosts, Ethan M. Wong.
I am Spencer DSO.
And I am MJ.
And we're coming back to you today with a very special episode. This wasn't on the docket, actually, because we were going to do something else. But it's okay. We can push stuff back. And also, it wouldn't be a trip without a podcast episode. I feel like I've done that for every single trip. We've done that for... I'm talking New York. I'm talking New York.
Yeah.
I'm talking Japan. I'm talking Italy. I'm talking
Hawaii.
I guess Hawaii, yeah.
And we've also done it every time you just tripped. Every time you like stumble and fall, we're like, we got to record an episode
and
right now.
Thankfully, that hasn't been the case too much.
Yeah.
I'm
You have really good
I'm
balance.
not Gerald R. Ford over here.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? I'm not, or Jennifer Lawrence for you millennials.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, here's the joke.
What's the
for
Gen
what
Z?
Gen Xers
Yeah,
or Boomers is Gerald Ford.
Uh-huh.
For millennials, you got Jennifer Lawrence, and for Zoomers, you've got
Someone that like SpongeBob. I don't know.
SpongeBob transcends generations.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually.
For some reason, my Twitter has been filled with. This is, I think, a new thing with Gen Z, Gen Alpha. I don't know if it's actually popular, if it's just popular with
I'm popular, everybody.
with like, I don't know, a very specific cohort of people. But it's called like object shows. And it's
I don't even
it's
I don't
okay.
even know what that is.
I was curious because I kept seeing it so much, and I looked it up, and the concept is like literally just total drama island. That's what the creators are basing it off of, but I guess it's just any evil reality show. But instead of having human characters, every character is like, I'm knife, I'm phone, I'm like mirror or something like that.
It's a Tummyverse kind of thing.
It's kind of a Tummyverse, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, the object show community. Yeah, I'm looking at this right now.
And it's like the kids are really into it, it seems like.
What the hell is
It looks bad. It looks lame, but like people like can't stop making threads. Like 17-year-olds can't stop making threads being like, "But no, you don't get it. It's like here's why phone loves suitcase," or something like that.
This sounds like what I did when I had no friends.
Yeah.
Sounds like what you did with your friends.
Here's Spencer's
My object friends.
Spencer's soapbox.
Okay.
Why do
give it to me.
people who are between the ages of 17 and 20 start every sentence by saying "but no," or like "no but" or something like that? It's like, have some faith in yourself, man. Don't act like everyone's already disagreeing with you.
Well, when you come into the world with climate change or Clomot Chong, whatever we called it the last time.
Yeah, we called it Clomot Chong.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And we spelled it almost the same way.
Yeah.
What sucks is, and this is so off topic. We're going off topic again here. I'm sorry, Kiyoshi. But we know I was listening to that episode, and we were cracking up with the picture of MJ as Dr. Disrespect, and I can't find it. I scrolled back up. I don't know if MJ showed it to us on his phone or he changed his background, but it
deleted
is
it.
not.
I had
It
to have
is not
saved it
in the
somewhere.
chat history.
I gotta find it.
Anyway, we're not going to retread this.
Yeah.
I'm back from New York, everybody. This is the New York 2024 episode.
Yay.
That's right. Coming back to you. I'm sure the article will have come out already because I really want to get this out there. But so you can read that at the same time as you listen to this. But hopefully we'll get into some stuff that I did not write about because some stuff is too crazy for the written word.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I came back and it was probably one of the best trips I've ever been on. As for some of you who know, I love going on trips to hang out. I love, when I'm by myself, I like seeing friends. I like, doing this kind of stuff. And I tend to do a lot of more touristy cultural stuff with like family or with, other people. But when I'm by myself, I just like to hang out. And also I've been to New York a couple of times. I've been to museums and stores and stuff. So I really wanted to see more people this time around, and that's what this trip ended up being. This trip was a trip of me being out till like 3 a.m. every night because, as you know, the city never sleeps. until 3 o'clock.
So that's when the city sleeps. It should be called the city that
right.
sleeps at 3 a.m.
That's right. That's what it should be. I well, actually, now that I think about it, going back, I actually was apprehensive about this because, I booked, I got a week off of work, and I knew Alfargo's was happening. That was kind of like the main. It sounds silly. That's like the main reason I was gonna go, and that's bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, that's like that takes up my weekend, and I know that like after Alfargo's, people will like go out for drinks or whatever. What am I gonna fucking do for like 4 days, like in the city? And I know that sounds crazy, but it's also like, well, I don't want to do like I needed something else to do. Like, okay, I've been to the Met before. There was nothing at the Met in the current exhibition, but I guess the Black Dandy one came out, so maybe I could have gone to that RIP. But like, I was kind of concerned about what I was gonna do, but ended up being just a really fun night.
There it is.
Ended up being there it is. MJ found the picture.
This your
I
profile
ended up
picture.
doing something like crazy. I ended up doing something crazy every single day of my trip. But yeah, so
Okay, so I'm gonna go through crazy things you could have done.
yeah, give me the list right here.
Walked across the Twin Towers on a wire.
Brooklyn Bridge. Okay, yeah. What's that movie called
Man
again?
on a wire.
Okay, yeah, with our man JGL.
Yeah, of course. JG. Hit Record Joe. What are we gonna get on Hit Record?
I know. We need to have.
Still doing that?
I think he is.
He should.
I think he is. It's very fun. I think it's a good career move for him to only be focused on Hit Record. You kissed Spider-Man while he was upside down.
Oh, in the rain. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Could do that.
And his nostrils got completely. He was like waterboarding himself.
Waterboarded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's another
Yeah,
New York
but,
thing? King
Good thing the
Kong.
blood was going somewhere else. Yeah. Okay, King Kong.
You walked across the street one day and almost got hit by a taxi, and you were like, "Hey, I'm walking here."
That literally, I'm gonna say that didn't happen to me. That happened to a woman in front of me.
Oh my God.
And instead of saying I'm walking here, she was like, "Fuck you."
No, okay,
I was
that's
like-
what real back in 1969 New Yorkers would say, "I'm walking here."
To be fair, the guy fucking like wasn't looking.
Yeah.
Like we were all like she was coming this way, I was coming this way, and a guy just like straight up just turned into it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And like I mean, obviously, I guess thankfully it wasn't to me. It was he was closer to the woman's side, but she was like, "Fuck you," and like the guy just like sped off, like he didn't want to interact with her, but it was everyone on the street was like, "What the fuck was this?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm a real New Yorker, guys. I've been there like 5 times, and everyone knows that after 5 times,
You got your
that
punch
makes
card.
a
You got
New
your
Yorker.
New York punch card.
Yeah, I've tripped, I've like walked on a rat before. Okay,
Nice. You
I've,
saw a monster rat once, or no? That was a video.
where
Did you
there's a
see-
rat being taken in, and then you see the rat that took it, and it's an even bigger
And
rat.
then
That's the
it would be
craziest
great
thing
if whoever filmed it like panned the camera over and there was a giant human-sized rat next to him who was like
It was-
walking around and he's like, "Only in New York, am I right?"
It was actually
we
Chuck E.
need the AI
Cheese.
version of that.
Yeah.
It's like those AI TikToks where it's like they go back in time with the time travel where they change history or whatever, and it was like dun 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 dun, like runs away.
Those
But
are
yeah,
evil.
it was a really fun trip. Quick shout outs to a couple of people real quick here. Shout out to John Greenacre, who let me stay with him. It was very nice of him. And also shout out to Nick Andry of Alfargo's and J Press fame. He really, he really wrangled not just me, but a lot of people, the visiting MFA Discord guys.
they call him the Wrangler.
Together. That's right. He wears Wrangler jeans. Actually, that's not true. He wears Levi's. He's a Levi's guy. But yeah, he really went out of his way to like make sure that everyone could hang out and like corralled everybody. And as a friend who kind of does that here, it is nice to have that from someone else. And in a city that again I'm just a guest in, and so I really want to shout out both Nick and John for being great hosts and being great friends. But yeah, so. And again, like I said, the MFA Discord was there.
Nice.
And so yeah, like I said before,
It was
I
a
thought
Reddit
it was going to
meetup.
be like, oh, that's right. I mean, I guess it's a Discord meetup.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes it better.
I think
Oh,
that
boy.
does that make it worse?
Depends on the perspective.
Yeah, a little Discord kitten meetup. Hey, actually, where is that? Because I would love to sign up for that, the Discord kitten meetup. So
There you go.
I'm back out there, baby. But yeah, no, it's I thought that I wasn't having anything to do, but a couple things happened. A lot of people from MFA visited during at least during like Thursday and Friday, which was very cool. I knew that it was kind of happening. I don't think it's not because of me, obviously, the teenage gentleman, LOL. But I think Nick posted that October Alfargo's dates like ahead of time, so people could actually come for that. So that was a big deal. That was gonna be a lot of fun. And then it turns out Permanent Style was doing a pop up while I was there, which is really great, with Rubato at J Muser, and it was gonna be a party for drinks on a Wednesday. So I'm like, okay, there's my Wednesday evening. And then also the Anthology was in town doing a trunk show. And so I was, and it's funny because the Anthology had no idea anything else was happening, and so it just really like lucked out that all this stuff was happening, and I got to see. I mean, basically, if I could call this anything, the trip was like the menswear crossover event of like my lifetime. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, I've never been to Pity, so maybe if I ever do that, that'll change that title. But for now, this was literally like every person, and in menswear and fashion, and so many people that I love talking to, that I'm mutuals with, that are incredibly inspirational, but also just like internet friends. It was definitely awesome, and busy.
Mm-hmm.
all the time.
It was kind of, I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of if Avengers Endgame had suit just one.
Yeah. It was
exactly that.
They should have.
Because you've also brought everyone back to life.
Yeah, you know what? I put on this glove and I said, I was made for this.
Uh-huh.
And then I snapped it and everyone appeared. Simon appeared.
That's right. I mean, I can't imagine what it was like to be the Anthology and walk into that room, New York City, the room. Yeah. And just see everyone there. It's like a Community when everything's on fire and Troy gets in there with a pizza.
Yeah, and then I look down and there's a flaming troll on the ground.
Yeah.
And then I try and that's the bad ending, and that's where you try and eat it in order to try and kill it. And then it makes you lose your voice in the bad future.
Yeah.
You have to use a vocal recorder.
Uh-huh.
Clearly you don't know anything about destroying trolls. A little Community reference for you guys.
When are we going to do a Community episode? The
we
Dean.
Got to.
Just saying his name.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
If this were but a time desk. That's my favorite episode. The conspiracy episode is my favorite episode. Because that professor doesn't exist. So maybe we can talk about the outfits.
Let's talk about what you wore to the most fashionable city in the world.
That's right. Sorry, LA. That's a no contest right there. So I mean, this is the first time I've gone where it's been. I guess I've gone in December where it was pretty cold, for my LA bones. But this was like a very mild New York. I mean, there were some days where it did get a little bit warmer, but I decided to pack. Here's what I packed. Let me just tell you. I packed M43 fatigues, which is what I wore on the plane. I wanted something casual that wasn't just jeans. That was kind of cool, and that would make kind of like an interesting look, again, with like sport coats or casual wear. So I brought M43 pants. I wore my navy double-breasted blazer on the plane, and I brought my deck shoes. That was kind of my plane outfit. Oh, and I did bring a Barber jacket rolled up, because I knew that, the past couple times we've been there, it has fucking rained. It has been crazy. And I know that sometimes it doesn't even show up on the damn weather app, but I wasn't going to take that chance. And I didn't want to just I'm not going to bring like a wool overcoat that would get soaked, that would be rendered unusable the rest of my trip. And so
rendered asunder.
And again, I brought... That's right, and in the 2 years since my last New York trip, I now own a Barber jacket, so I brought that bad boy.
That's right.
And so it's not super thick or whatever, but it is pretty good at being waterproof. I do wax it, and so I just carried it on the plane and I just rolled it on my tote bag, which is also filled to the brim. In terms of other tailoring, I brought my gray double-breasted suit. It's kind of funny how our friend Berkeley would tease me about me not being into gray suits, and I love wearing my gray suit now. It's been a really great, staple, a foundational part of my wardrobe. So I brought that because also I wanted something different than a navy suit, and I wanted, something more than a brown suit. I wanted something a little bit more like cocktail ready and etc. So I brought that. And then I also, so I guess, my only tailoring was my gray suit and my navy double-breasted jacket. And then for other pants, I brought 2 senior pants because I wanted to make a statement, and I know I'm going to Wells Fargo's and also walk around New York, and I wanted to be cool. So I brought um, my khaki senior pants, which are the menswear themed pants, and then I also brought my black ones, which could be like for going out, and has like, I don't know, the craziest stuff. It's got Code Geass, it's got Barbie, it's got the LA Phil, it's got flaming keys that are upside down because of our friends, the Illuminati.
That's right.
And so I brought those. And for shirts, I brought like an OCBD. I brought a couple of point collar shirts. I forgot to bring my collar bar, which was very
That's devastating.
Which was very sad. I know, but I ended up not wearing ties too much during the trip, actually. Because walking around, and I wanted to be more casual. I brought a couple of sports shirts, a navy blue one and a brown one, and a navy sweater just in case it got cold. Oh, and I also brought my 2-tone sweater vest that's vintage Ralph Lauren that looks like a 30s one, like kind of like your, because you have a similar one too,
I have
Spencer.
the one from Nigel Caborn.
Nigel Caborn.
Nigel.
Caborn.
And so
Caborn.
yeah, I brought that, and it was really good. Oh yeah, and for shoes I brought tassel loafers and my Belgian. So so sneakers, a pair of like brown tassel loafers, and then my some cool going out shoes, which would be the Belgians. So
That's right.
very, very cool. And they kind of worked. I had some vague idea of what I was gonna wear each day of options, but I was a little bit loose this time for
Okay.
once. Normally I think in the past, it's like a distinct outfit each time, and I'm sure while that was at the back of my mind, I was like, what, if I change stuff up, I'll do it. And that actually happened on Saturday, where I was gonna wear my OCBD with the senior pants and the navy blazer, but I decided, no, I'm gonna do something else. And so I decided to go for my navy crew neck sweatshirt and a jaunty scarf, which Annie gave me for my birthday, which is very nice. It was a green foulard scarf, which I do not own a version of. And so, doing jaunty scarf with a crew neck, like knitwear with a navy blazer and khaki senior pants was kind of fun. And I wore that with Belgians. No, I wore that with tassel loafers. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good outfit. I think it was great. I'm proud of every outfit. There's never been a time on a trip where I've been like, this sucks. Like, I don't know why I'm wearing this. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of clothes, so when I packed in advance, it didn't affect what I was wearing that week. And so yeah, it was. I was very happy with my choices. I looked very cool, and I bought a couple of things, which we'll get into later on.
Do you have a favorite outfit from the trip?
I think on the last day when I wore my pseudo tuxedo, my creative black tie, so I wore that to Wells Fargo's with a sans bow tie, cummerbund, and tuxedo jacket.
Sans bund bow tie?
That's right. It was falling apart. It was telling me time in an hourglass.
Yeah.
No, I wore to Alfargo's on the last day on Sunday. I wore a chambray shirt and my black senior pants with my Belgians, and then when I went to Jason's premiere of Velvet, which is a short film made by him and our friend Connor, shout out the Discord, Connor. I wore I wore my tuxedo jacket, the chambray, bow tie, cummerbund, the black senior pants, and then the Belgians, which is kind of a version of what I wore to New Year's earlier this year, but instead of a wing collar, I wore the chambray shirt, which is, I've always wanted to do chambray shirt or like a blue tux shirt, kind of 70s-esque, but also this kind of like workwear, and I think that's like my favorite outfit. But all of them are bangers. Honestly, I'm very happy I was able to do it, and I didn't have to pack too many things. It was a struggle coming back home, but that was because I bought like 4 books and I bought 2 pieces of outerwear, and so that was a struggle to pack and also carry on the plane. Where I'm sure people were like, "This guy's wearing a sport coat and he's got 3 coats in his tote bag." Not in. I'm sorry. The tote bag's full of stuff.
It's on top
and then
of
3
it.
things on top of it, and luckily all of it fit under in the space below the seat, but it was definitely a lot. So
Nice.
yeah.
Did you feel like you
overpacked?
not overpacked? I was gonna say wish you brought more stuff actually.
No, I that's what I'm saying. I think I'm very very happy with how it turned out. I mean, I wish I didn't bring the barber jacket just because I ended up buying outerwear while I was
But you didn't
there.
know that.
Uh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting to buy anything because as I did not mention earlier, this was also the time of the Armory sample sale, which only happens every three
Oh
years or
my
so,
god.
and yeah, so it was a crazy week. What can I say? I mean, it was awesome. It was, I mean, the fates aligned, the stars aligned for me to have one of my favorite, one of the best times I could think of. And
I'm
also,
trying to think
yeah,
of
I
a
mean, I
better
also,
time right now.
I mean, Italy was great.
I'm
Italy was a
well, I'm
lot of
just
fun.
it doesn't
Japan was
even
great.
just have to involve travel. I'm just thinking about
Buying stuff.
or just having a really good sandwich.
Oh, I was gonna say
That you can
my
walk
friends.
to.
Yeah.
My friends tease me about this all the time. Where when I love multitasking, which means I love eating dessert and dinner or the entree at the same
There you
time. And
go.
so one of my favorite things, and I don't think I'll ever get to this high, is like yeah, for breakfast you have. I'm sure I've said this on the podcast before, but the peanut butter,
Captain
peanut butter
Crunch.
crunch, Captain Crunch, and just copious amounts of Hawaiian bread with butter, like toast. And I think that's like the ultimate. I mean, if you want to add some bacon and sausage in there, sure. But like as a kid, we didn't
Sure.
really do that for
I
breakfast. But like that to me was like the ultimate
I
thing.
gotta
It's so
say,
heavy,
I
but
gotta
it was
say,
so good.
I've tried Oops All Berries. I've tried just the peanut butter parts of Captain Crunch.
Well, that's the only in that one. That's all you
Oh
get.
yeah, so the regular Captain Crunch, not the Crunch Berries, but
I see what you're
I
saying.
think
Yes.
the thing that makes Captain Crunch good is the mix. I don't think it's as good with just one or the other. Every time I think about it.
Well, again, yeah. No, you're saying you want Captain Crunch with Crunch
Yeah.
Berries, the one with the regular and the thing. Yeah. No one's
I
denying
know,
that.
but sometimes
I,
sometimes I trick myself where I'm in the store, I'm in the cereal
oh,
aisle,
I see. You buy what you
and
buy
I'm
the
like, you know what?
individuals.
I really like the Crunch Berries. Let me just get Oops All Crunch Berries. Or sometimes I'm like, I kind of like the peanut butter bites. But no, it's not good without the other. You have to have a balance. And that's what I
Yeah.
think this country needs.
Yeah, we need balance.
We need a balance. A bird can't fly with just a left or a right wing, you know?
Jesus, who said that? Yeah. So, no, the Armor sample sale was really great. I
Yeah.
mean, I could talk about that really briefly here. So, I was thankfully enough to be invited on the Friends and Family Day, and I was like, oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. And I haven't been to a sample sale. I've only been to like flea markets or whatever. I guess there are sample sales at those flea markets, but it's not the same thing as like going to like waiting in line for a place. And so at those things, you should hold what you're interested in while you're looking at it because and go somewhere, put it on a fucking chair or pile because if you go, oh, that's nice, you keep looking, that'll be gone. Like someone's gonna fucking take that shit. And so and it's funny because like, I mean, I wasn't there on a normal day, but even the Friends and Family one, it was a lot. And so, but I actually didn't end up buying too much from there. I think most of the stuff that they had was like Japanese sizing, so for my big ass arms and shoulders, it doesn't really fit too much, even a size 50.
Too
But I did
small.
buy two things from them, actually three things. I bought two sport coats, one like brown plaid linen jacket, which is very Ethan, and one green hounds like gun check flannel jacket, which is also very Ethan. And everyone literally there was like, "Oh, you're getting a very LA and a very New York jacket,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Yeah, I know, because I'm crazy."
Yeah,
And they
I'm a
both
man
cost.
of
I mean,
two cities. Someone get Charles
yeah,
Dickens.
that's right. That's right. It was the best of times, and it was the worst of
It was
times.
the worst of times.
Is that the one where he gets hung because he looks like another
I
guy
think
or
so,
something,
yes.
right?
I've only read the abridged version for children when I
Oh.
was a child.
What did they say? They took him to jail instead of like executing
They
him.
straight
during
up
the...
kill him, but it's just shorter.
Okay.
It's just a shorter
Oh, I
book.
see. You don't have Kaiba being like, "This is
You're
gay"
sending
or
him
whatever.
to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah. Shout out Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged
Yeah.
series. No, yeah. So, yeah, I bought those two jackets, and they had a lot of stuff. They had ring jackets. They had some Orazio Luciano out there. They had They did not have a lot of ties at all, which was crazy. I think it was basically tailoring. What they did have a lot of was a lot of Armory Ascot Chang polos, which is
That is
like
funny.
funny for hashtag menswear. They had a bunch of the Wyndham, which is like their Oxford like house model that they make, like the Armory House brand shoes. Some like Badawin and Launch, Sagans or whatever. Some Jacques Olivier, which is like those like kind of fun, funky French shoes that they have. But the real, the real thing you want to get is obviously the ring jacket tailoring, and I guess maybe the Orazio stuff. But it's the outerwear that's the coolest part, and the coherence. You know, if you guys haven't heard of Coherence by Nakagomi-san, it's so good. And they had this cool, crazy Mark coat, which is like it looks like a World War I or two dispatch coat, which is like a double-breasted trench coat, but like one singular hidden button and a fully belted closure.
Ooh.
I had a small and a large. I bought the small, and everyone said, "Didn't have a medium, huh?" And I'm like, "Fuck you, fuck."
That's
And
rude.
then so they didn't have a medium, but then I ended up buying a large at the Armory at Alfargo's, and then I traded and Nick bought the small from me. And so I have a large. I did take it to my tailor to get the sleeve shortened, but it's awesome, man. It's so good. If anyone's in the market for like a $20 or less Uniqlo Block Tech shell coat, please ask me because I now have the ultimate version of a shell raincoat. But yeah.
That's nice.
Anyway, so yeah, that was the Armory sample sale. I'll also say I had the craziest post-plane meal on Monday when I came in. And so
crap spaghetti.
So originally I wanted to, as you know, the closer I got to the trip, I realized that I'm like, okay, there are things happening now, and I wanted to see one Broadway show. I haven't seen a Broadway show in New York, on Broadway, since like high school, because normally that's just not on the list of things that we do, and I want to see Cabaret because I wanted to see it, and I was planning on watching it Monday, and these shows are at 7:30, and my plane was supposed to land at 6, or sorry, at like 5:30 or 6, and like I was delayed, and I ended up getting to John's apartment at 7, and I'm like, there's no way I'm watching Cabaret tonight. And so me and John was like, well, let's get some dinner. And John now works at J.M. McLaughlin, and so that's really cool. And I wanted to catch up with him. And it's a small team over there, so he was, he had a work trip. You go out to all these different stores and you merchandise, or you train staff, etc. And so I knew I wouldn't have as much time with him during the week, and so like, yeah, you know what, fuck it. I'm not gonna try and rush myself to go see Cabaret. Let's go have some dinner. And so we went to this like fancy French restaurant. And I got like Alsatian food, which is like the Germanic French food of France.
Okay.
And it was like a bed of sauerkraut with like pork sausage loin and pork belly.
Huh.
And I mean, again, it's a very fancy meal for a post-plane thing, but I ate the shit out of that thing. It was so good. I was so hungry. I'm like scarfing down, like I'm like, eating fucking sauerkraut and fucking, putting the German mustard and eating that shit. It was so good. Very expensive. At least, I mean, that might be the most expensive meal of my whole trip.
My whole life.
But that was good. In terms of other food, I also had Japanese food with Annie, which is kind of a fun throwback because the last time I was there in 2022, me and Annie went together, and she's a big foodie, and we went to this like Japanese like high-end like yakitori restaurant, which is very, very good. This time it was not that, but we had udon.
Ooh, I love
and,
udon.
Had a Sapporo, which was really great. Nothing beats like udon, Sapporo, and some karage. Very classic stuff. That was really good. I had like diner food like 5 times.
I love
like,
it.
3 or 4 times.
That's what you want to have in New
it's
York.
Like, I mean, it's like if you want to sit down somewhere, but like not at like a nice restaurant, that's what a diner is in New York.
It's perfect for that.
And so I had to alternate between like, I had omelets mainly because I didn't want to eat anything too heavy because in New York, bathrooms are not plentiful.
No.
And so I don't want to eat a fucking like greasy ass patty melt and then drink a beer and then have a fucking stomach issue where I have to like put so many paper towels down in a fucking bathroom, the dive bar bathroom that doesn't close.
Did you have lox bagels at any point on this trip?
No, I should
Big
have.
mistake.
I should have.
I'm obsessed with
I know I
box
did have
bagels.
a lot of bacon, egg, and cheeses.
That's
though. I
good.
did have a lot
Aki.
of those. Yeah, I know. The bagel stuff.
The bagel stuff.
Yeah, I should have had some of that. I just wanted more. I guess I could have had like a loaded bagel full of other stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was just I mean, bacon, egg, and cheese is. I don't have to think about it. Just give me one of those. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
give me one, man.
Yeah. I also had a lot of just slices of pizza because I'm out at late at night and I need something to keep me going. So, I also will say like I barely ate breakfast or lunch. I lost like 2 pounds like over there
Ooh.
just walking and not eating
walking.
is the whole thing. That's
You
right.
do walk a lot when you go to I mean, it's well obviously because they don't know what cars are over in New York. They just car.
Yet you see them.
You do
That's
see them.
crazy,
It's
right?
crazy. No one drives in New York. There's too much traffic. That's the joke that I always hear.
Too much traffic.
But
yeah. No, I mean,
remember. I don't know. I remember my trips to New York and my trip to Boston. I mean, especially at Boston because I had the entire time to myself. But I ended up walking like 10 miles plus a day. In New York, people thought I was crazy for this last time I went, which was for like a conference. On like one of the nights, I just ended up walking like a couple miles, just for fun. Yeah, I just took a street down until I hit a river, and then I got in the river and I was like, "Fuck, this is a mistake." But people were like, "Oh my god, that's crazy." I'm like, it was like 20, 30 minutes. It's fine.
I mean, I like walked from one village to the other, which is just walking like horizontally across.
Sounds like a
I
fucking
did that, like,
Zelda
the last
game.
time.
Aren't you always walking horizontally?
Just wait till I go vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I also I realize here that my feet when I say that my feet hurt, it's not that it's sore. It's that I get blisters specifically on my pinky and fourth toe.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if it's because like my foot is shaped weird. Like I'm realizing this now. Like I had the same blisters like every single trip, any place I go, and yeah, it's more than just being sore. It's like I need like there's something wrong with my feet or whatever. And so, but this time I was like, you know what? I bought basically like donut band-aids, and so I just put those on like
Okay,
around
it
the
was
thing,
first.
and they
It took
helped.
me a minute
And
to figure out what those were.
yeah, it
Okay.
literally so it provides cushion so the protruding
friction.
the protruding blister is not in contact with the it's not raised,
Yeah.
it's leveled out. And I will say it still like hurt a little bit, but like it helped, like it got better because in previous trips it just gets worse because you keep walking more and you keep doing that. But this time I was like, you know what? I went into a fucking Rite Aid. I'm like, okay, I'm buying this. And it was good. It definitely helps. So now I know in the future, because I can't change how my feet go unless I straight up don't wear dress shoes, which is always an option that I do not take.
Always, yeah.
Does that? I think it's also because when I wear like thinner, like when I wear like dress socks or whatever, like it the grip. Like I need like dress socks with like rubber on the bottom, so
it doesn't move inside of the shoe and do like.
Yeah, because dress socks are so thin, it's if I buy like wool socks, it's gonna be too thick, and then I'm gonna get other blisters for being squeezed into my dress shoes or whatever. Again, the answer is always buy Solomon's and wear whatever fucking. But I'm not. That's not the fits I'm wearing, bro. That's not the fits.
Yeah.
Come on.
So that happens with all your shoes at like the same result.
It's always the same. It's the same foot. My left foot is fine. It gets tired, but it's not like I'm not in pain from pushing down onto those fucking pinkies.
Yeah.
And I could show people the next time if they don't fucking believe me. Okay, I can show you my disgusting ass blistered feet with these giant fucking fluid filled things on the last two ones, and they're not even circles. They're like an oval. I don't fucking know, man. Yeah, they're like an ellipse, dude. It's fucking painful, man. I don't know. It's always those fucking. I want to cut those toes off.
I've seen them.
But yeah, so yeah, but lots of walking. I also didn't go to too many menswear stores actually, which was kind of a surprise. But also not because I'm not trying to. Also I spent a lot. I bought 3 things at the Armory sample sale. It's still a lot, but yeah. By the way, they were 70% off.
Oh yeah.
So 70% off of $2,000 is still $500, $600, $700 or whatever it is. But I mean, basically, I bought buying three things is like, yeah, buying three for the price of one, basically, which is really good. I mean, there's literally, I can't think of a better value of like the quality of make and just cool design, um, other than maybe getting lucky on Grailed and hopefully the thing isn't worn. But again, these are no one's worn these pieces,
Yeah.
right? So it's that's what's really cool about it.
Did you
Yeah.
you said you didn't go to many. Did you go to any?
I did. I went to Wythe, which I think is the one maybe Spencer should be here for.
Yeah.
Little allusion to the fact he's taking a fucking shit, but we're not.
Yeah.
We keep going, baby. He's got stuff.
Yeah,
to
I
do.
don't want to ask about Alfargo's yet because that seems like the
That's a big one. Yeah,
yeah.
no, yeah. Wythe was really great. I mean, I've always been a fan of the brand. Seeing what Peter, and all the rest of the guys have done has been cool. I mean, they've really evolved from being like. I think we remember when they made the like the ready to wear OCBDs like way back when.
Yeah.
And now they're making like leather jackets, like work suits, chore coat, like denim chore coats that look like the old Lee or whatever ones that Spencer has. Browns, I mean, the best part was the Browns Beach, like their reproduction of the Browns Beach, which they have as a vest in multiple sizes and this like jacket thing. I did heavily consider the vest actually, but I know I'm not gonna wear it. I already have the Capital one, and the Capital one isn't as scratchy, or not as scratchy, but like as like thick as like the real like reproduction Browns Beach. So I think I like that more. The only difference, right, is that the Capital one is like a fun one, which by mean it has like the different pieces, like the pockets and the fronts are all different colors.
Yeah.
Versus the Browns, which is brown. So I almost got it, but I decided not to. At least I know my size. I'm a size large in that. They also have these really, really great like big ass coats, which is really cool. But I don't need any. I live in LA, but that was really cool. But the store itself is merchandised very well. I got to talk to the guys there, and so like it's just nice to see, you know what I mean? Like it feels like, yeah, like this kind of like, this Western pull that we're seeing in the, not in the zeitgeist, but this evergreen idea of like Western and Americana kind of being expressed in Wythe is really nice. And it's like in Chinatown, or whatever. It's also near 18 East, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
18 East was nice to be at. There's nothing really there that I like. I feel like maybe the design has changed a little bit more since we first liked it. I mean, I think you have probably the coolest part, which is like the purple kimono cardigan thing.
Yeah. I think they started to go like more into like
more gorpy.
Yeah, just very
more gorp. I mean, that makes sense
function
considering
heavy pieces now.
Yeah, I mean, there was like this fleece like sport. I mean, I call it a sport vest. It's like a long sleeve fleece thing, and it's made of like cotton. Like it's cotton like fleece or alpaca or whatever you want to call it. Like it's not polyester, which is like, yeah, compared to like the Patagonia stuff. And that was really cool, very tempting, very big. And so I didn't buy it. I feel like you would have bought that if you were there, honestly. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I will say the thing about the Browns Beach from Wythe that I did not like is like the fake like oxidized buttons where they have like the blue on the buttons. Like it's not, I mean, I don't know if it's real or not. Like maybe they actually did oxidize it, but like I kind of like the idea that it should have been like new, and then it would have happened like over time.
It's like pre-distressing basically.
Yeah. Oh, they call it the beach cloth vest.
Ooh.
What do they say? It's a cotton wool. Yeah, custom steer snap closures. Yeah, they antique it by like making it look a little bit green or whatever, which is, again, it's cool, but I kind of wish it was like the original, But yeah, it's $500, which is a little hefty. But
not even a full jacket, just for a vest.
Yeah, because you have a reproduction Wythe one. Oh, sorry, reproduction Browns Beach.
Yeah, which I love that thing.
Yeah,
I might wear it.
Have our own versions
at
of
my
it.
costume tonight. I'm going to my
At your
costume.
costume?
Yeah, I'm going to my costume.
Yeah. That's good. But yeah, so 18 East, Wythe, obviously stopped by the Armory Upper East Side and the Tribeca store. I got to try on a couple of the Armory makes, just because I'm as I get older and moving my career and kind of want more stuff. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll entertain some custom made to measure stuff. It is still very expensive for me, so probably not for a long time. but I was like trying on like the 100 series, which is like their highest level custom make. Of course, their Model 4 and 16s, which is like their DB models. But I mean, I'm a pretty decent ready to wear fit, but I'm more concerned about the trousers and how they fit. And obviously, the guys at the Armory and the models, they don't really wear like really high waisted, wide leg pants. And so I just wanted to talk to them and see if it was possible. And they seem pretty, pretty good at like they would be able to make that kind of stuff. Shout out Alex and Dan for walking me through it.
Shout out Alex and Dan.
But yeah, I maybe not now. I'm still I'm still figuring it out. If I want to be able to do that. But it's but it's always good to see the Armory. I mean, the Armory is unparalleled in like its like menswear offering and seeing like how it is. I saw Baldwin and Lang. I don't know. Baudouin, I don't know.
Edwin.
I'm bad. If Alan's not gonna listen, he doesn't even know who the hell I am. If he listens to this, I'm sorry. But they're opening a New York store, which is funny. We were walking by and they were there like setting it up, and so we walked in there and checked it out. But yeah, other than that, no new menswear stores. I didn't go to J Press because I don't. Sorry, Ivan and Nick. I don't feel the need to walk back in there.
Yeah, you've done your time in J Press jail, so to speak.
That's right.
More like jail.
Have we? I don't think I've ever owned a single piece of clothing from J Press. Maybe a tie.
Oh, I've owned like sport coats from J Press, like that I found on like eBay. Or maybe MJ. Actually, maybe that's not true. Maybe it's all been Brooks Brothers. Actually, sorry. We go with the original. I didn't go to like Alden or Carmina. Like I didn't do any of like the typical stuff because I don't really need to.
Yeah, because most of the time we would go to Drake's was to like get sized, but I think at this point you probably know your size quite well.
Not to said I own my
that's
Aldens
right,
that I want, so that's the whole thing. I mean, I will say the other things I bought. I went to Strand, which is the bookstore, and I love that place. I now just go to my favorite section, which is the music and art criticism sections, and I ended up buying 4 books that I had to bring with me all day because in New York I'm not gonna go back to the apartment. I'm gonna just carry it with me, which was a mistake, but also I had to do it. I got a lecture by Leonard Bernstein called "The Joy of Music." I got a book about conductors, like about essays about the idea and philosophy behind conducting, which is really cool. I also got essays and interviews about American composers. And then I bought a book called The Anti-Aesthetic, which is a postmodern a series of essays on postmodern art. So very, very even core.
Very even core.
That I've added to my large list of books I still have yet to fucking read.
Nice.
So, But yeah, very, very, very cool. I went there with Michael, M. Rose, the watchmaker, which was very fun. For those of you who don't know, Michael, like the other Michael, used to live in L.A. but has moved to another place. M. Rose has now moved to Virginia or something like that.
Yeah,
but anyway,
the Rose of America.
they came in. Yeah, he came over to New York, and we had a little moment there, a little Discord meetup with him and Zach. Going to all these menswear stuff, and Michael, Michael and I are friends, and so we went to Strand to like look at some books, and so that was a lot of fun. But obviously, I'm sure, as you guys know, the biggest thing of the trip was Alfargo's Marketplace.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, actually, should I talk about that, or should I talk about the permanent style party first? That's also another one, a big one.
Let's lead up with that.
Let's start with that. So that was on a Wednesday. So that was like my big Wednesday thing there. That day I wore probably my not my fanciest, but my most like trad. I wore my gray DB with my striped point collar shirt, a green and red 30s tie with the khaki senior pants, and then my tassel. So very kind of Ivy. I kind of like the idea of a khaki jacket and a khaki pants and a gray jacket. I feel like it's very trad, but not as trad as like a navy blazer. It's not like super like Ivy preppy. This is more very trad. So I wore that. I'm trying to remember what I did on Wednesday during the day. Oh yeah, that's right, the Armory sample sale. Where in the morning I went down there. I had breakfast. I had a coffee and a croissant with Simon Gold and David, who works over at Natalino, and Annie came with me. A woman wearing a Nickelodeon T-shirt. An old woman looking at the Nickelodeon T-shirt says, "I love your pants." I said, "Thank you." I love that. You know, when New York, when cool New Yorkers walk by and are like, "Nice fit, man," I'm like, "Thank you." Yeah, and so yeah, oh yeah, Wednesday was crazy because I did that, and then I watched Cabaret, and a matinee at 2:30. I left Soho at 1. Okay, the train said 15 minutes. I get in there, we're not moving. They go, there are significant delays on this line. There are multiple trains ahead of us at each station. And I'm like, did I just waste $150, on this fucking shit? But thankfully I'm like coughing, I'm sweating. I got there like right at like 2 o'clock and I was able to fucking sit down. And so we did that, came back down, and after the musical, it was like fucking 5:30 or 6 or whatever, and the permanent style party started at 6, and I was like, should I get some dinner or should I just go to this thing? And I know with Annie we were going to go to a sit down restaurant, so I was like, you know what, fuck this, we're just gonna go to the thing. So I went to the permanent style party with nothing in my fucking stomach, and immediately started drinking some beer. But I walk in there, and it's fucking like, it's all the best. It's all the menswear guys that you've ever seen in New York and in London. It was honestly very, very intimidating, to see all this kind of stuff. But also it was like, holy, like I've made it kind of. And also like it's open invite, right? It's like, they post this on social media. It's not like anything. But like, yeah, being able to walk up the stairs to J Muser, and then yeah, like the party in full swing, I'm like, oh my god, I see that guy. Oh my god, there's that guy. It was pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, yeah, everyone was there. So like I walk in there, Oliver from Rubato is like, hey, just like Fonzie.
He did exactly that.
Yeah, he definitely did it. He said, step into my office, and it's a bathroom.
Okay.
I will say this is kind of a funny thing. This is not like so J Muser, they have a bathroom. I went to use it the next day or whatever when I went back to try on stuff, because obviously I'm at this party. I'm not gonna. We've been to post trunk show parties, and we're not trying on things. You were there to hang out, so I did not take to try any of the wares. But when I did, I came back. There's obviously not like 50 people packed into this stuff, and so I'm like, oh, can I use the restroom? They're like, oh yeah, sure. I go in there. They say, okay, well, the door doesn't lock, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's a sliding door. It doesn't fully close.
Oh no.
No.
And again, also I had to poop, and also the door doesn't fully close. I mean, it's like no one's gonna look unless you're like looking into the crack. You're not gonna see anything. But again, I'm gonna poop, and also instead of 50 people, there's like 4 people, and so it's like I don't think I want them to hear what I'm about to do to this toilet. So if Jake Muser is listening, I did not use your restroom the following day or whatever.
Wow. I had a very scary. I just need to tell this story. I had a very scary Los Angeles bathroom experience.
LA poop.
LAB.
And it takes place in LA because I was in Ralph's.
Right, because if it was somewhere else, it would be called Kroger's.
Yeah, it would be Kroger's. What are the grocery stores they have? I mean, I guess bodegas in New York. They probably have a regular grocery store, right?
I think so. Anyway, tell us your story.
I was there. I really, really, really needed to poop, and it was like
I'm gonna paint that bowl brown.
It kind of just hit me as soon as I got to Ralph's, and I was like, "Well, that's okay." I know Ralph's has a bathroom, and it did. I'm glad. I thought it was funny because they had like a keypad outside the door, but the code was like on a piece of paper that was like taped to the door. So I'm like, why even have the keypad at this point?
Kind of like a Boss Man 69 thing from
exactly
from Ready Player One.
Maybe it wasn't supposed to be there, but someone pasted it there. But
I got Samaritan, if you will.
And there was a person. There were 2 stalls. The bathroom itself was scary. It was like bare concrete walls.
A liminal space kind of thing.
Yeah, there was a urinal that was like bagged, like it was out of order.
What if it was actually a murdered? It was a murdered urinal.
So it's in a body bag, is what you're
Yeah,
implying.
that's what I'm saying. Yes. That's the
Okay, I
joke.
can see that, and it might have been that way, but someone probably did fucking murder that urinal with like piss or something, and that's why it was bagged up.
Well, why would it? I guess I was gonna say, but it eats it. But you
But
can
it
also
too
choke to
much.
death. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
Yeah.
your piss is too heavy. It's too thick, and so it clogs the urinal. I don't like that. It's viscous piss.
I think you have to go see a doctor for that.
come on.
But anyway, someone had a viscous piss in there, and it was unusable. And then there were two toilet stalls, and one of them, the guy was just not making any sounds. And so he might have been like sleeping or perhaps OD'd or dead or something like that. But the one that I was waiting for, the guy had taken his like shoes off. He had taken his sneakers off. And was just bare socks on the bathroom floor, which is gross. And it took him a while. I was a little worried that it was going to take too much time, and so at a certain point I was doing the ahem thing or whatever, like standing right outside.
Wait, hold on. You're saying that both stalls were taken. That's what
Yeah,
you're
both
saying.
stalls were taken, and I had
yeah.
to wait. And then other people were coming in, and they were seeing the stalls being used. They saw me. One person just left. He was like, "I'm not gonna deal with this."
Yeah.
And then the guy finally flushed, and then it took him another minute or two because he had to put his shoes back on. And I rushed in there. No lock. There was not even I should have noticed this. There was not even the it was completely off. So I just had to hold the door closed the entire time. I'm assuming that someone would have seen my shoes, but I don't know that. But that happened to me last week, and it made me
just opens the door.
Yeah, it could have happened.
And you're just full Montying.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. It's like a little kid where I have my pants completely off.
Oh man.
They're on the hook. They're on the hook.
But
Also,
yeah, you go
quick
ahead.
thing. If I were president, every bathroom stall would have the little coat hook.
A lock on every bathroom.
Oh, a lock. Dude, that's the most important part. But also the coat hook.
And the doors and walls that
Yes.
go all the way down to the
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for that story, Spencer.
Yeah, anyway,
The
that was
restroom
my it's been on my mind. It was the worst bathroom experience I've had in a while.
Yeah, I have had my bathroom experience that was crazy, which I don't know if I said on the podcast, but I'll share it some other time. It's a funny story that people love hearing, or I just love telling it. So, sorry, not today for the.
We'll
the
have a
listeners.
bathroom episode where you get to hear everything.
I'm sure we already have and have done this story.
A toilet episode, yeah.
Yeah, skibbity.
That's right.
Yeah, so other people who were there, I mean, I saw, obviously, Simon Crompton was there. Dick Carroll is passing out his latest
He's passing
zine.
out.
Yeah, he was actually in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Chris Pizarro was there, which was really cool. Got to see him. Shout him out because I remember last time we got ice cream together, that a long time ago. We who else was there? Jake Wolf, who's he does those Esquire articles or whatever about the top recommendation kind of stuff. I really enjoyed talking to Brandon Mitchell, who wears full Ivy. He tries to buy everything secondhand or vintage, and he's very cool. He's wearing a brown 3-piece herringbone Brooks Brothers sack jacket. And of course other people like Rory and Sora and all the All Fargo's guys came in there. And all the Cozy Boys as well. Andre of Bryceland's was there, which was a very nice surprise. I did not know that he would be coming. I saw Dan, who I think I mentioned earlier. He used to manage the Armory Upper East Side, but now he's at the Cad and the Dandy. The Snob Report was also there of the Cad and the Dandy, and the Oliver, different Oliver, who is the creative director of the Cad and Dandy, were also there. And it was really cool because I mean, there's so many people to talk to. I did not talk to, at least at that party, the Alfargo's guys as much because I kind of wanted to talk to people who I'd never talked to before, and there were a couple of new faces who I would later see at the actual Alfargo's, but I didn't know that they were gonna be there or whatever, so I talked to them, which is really nice. People like Vale and Rem, who are both very lovely, very cute couple. They were really cool. Ram runs the account Menswear NYC, taking it over from Dan. So Ram goes out to these events, kind of doing what I do, where they just take photos of people hanging out and well dressed up. So that was really nice to connect over there. There's this guy, I think his name was Sam, and he pulled a Spencer where he had a little book in his pocket. But it was a very
Hey.
Ethan thing because it was a collection of essays by Thomas Adorno.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, I love this guy. Um, and so, yeah, we talked about that. Um, yeah, his name's Thomas Adorno, right? That's right. Yeah, that's the philosopher.
That's the guy.
Yeah, so that was cool. And then afterward, we were gonna go to this place called Corner Bistro, but it was cash only, and so we went to Art Bar, which was also in the area, which was the same place I went to after jazz. I don't know if I said that already, but that was a lot of fun. And then we went to that club with Lawrence and Jimmy of Throwing Fits. We ran into them very briefly at that club, and I got home at like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning because that was crazy.
Mhm.
But that
I
was
mean,
kind of
it's
fun.
a city
That
that
was
doesn't sleep until 3 a.m. We know this.
yeah, as we've said so, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, imagine this. I got to the like, I got to the permanent style party at like 6:30, and I left at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, is that 9 hours? That's 9 hours. That's crazy, dude. That's insane. That's the wildest part of it. But yeah, so that was a big like menswear crossover event. Obviously, so many people were there.
Of the summer.
Other people there were like, I mean, Colin, who works at J Muser. Obviously, there was like a couple of people from from Todd Snyder that Sora brought over. I didn't catch too many of their names, but that was really cool. But yeah, it felt really nice. It felt like a little preamble to the bigger events of Alfargo's, which came out obviously Saturday and the Sunday. But there was also like the Friday night where I went out with the MFA Discord guys. That was a lot of fun. Um, so many great people. We played pool and I took those like bike rider stuff, and a lot of them also came to Alfargo's, and so we can finish up by talking about Alfargo's because like I feel like that's like again like the biggest thing of the entire weekend, and
Yep.
kind of like with the permanent style thing, I was a little apprehensive because I wrote that whole article on like social resume stuff and everything, but like again, I don't know if it's just me because obviously I've been around for a while and people know me, but it's like I walk in there and everyone's like, oh hey, it's Ethan. Like it just felt really really nice. It felt like not a homecoming, but like, oh man, I can't believe you're finally here, which was a very warm feeling, and like everyone's like, oh yeah, you gotta talk to this guy, or like, and seeing people that I've like again have only met or talked to online versus being in person was kind of a big deal. That first day, that the Saturday, it was, I wanted to shop, I wanted to look around and take photos of like the stuff happening, but I like couldn't walk more than like 5 steps before running into someone that I would talk to,
Mhm.
which was great. But and of course, like there's 2 full days of this thing, and it goes from like 12, from 11 to 6. But it's one of those things of like, how we go to the flea markets. Like I gotta see everything first, and then I can go back and like decide what I want. But no, it was all good. Like I ran into so many people there because some people were not at the permanent style event. People um, like Dan Hakimi of the Second Button who was there. There was a couple of guys, sellers that I had seen there too, like Vintage Habitat, the Dapper Haberdasher, who sells a lot of great ties on Instagram and Etsy and eBay and all that kind of stuff. I saw Denny Balmaceda, who has been an influencer or fashion guy for like a long time. I remember him from like my Tumblr days. I have a funny story about him that I'll keep to myself a little bit, but he was really, really nice, and he did not know I was Filipino, which I think is really funny. I posted
What
that
did he
video.
think you were?
I he didn't say because I don't, maybe that's racist. But no, like he's like, oh, let's do a fit check together because that'll be really cool. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So then we were doing the fit check, and he like winks, and I go Pogi Boys, and he goes like, hey, that's a Filipino thing. How do you know that? And I'm like, I'm Filipino. He goes like, no way, you are? I'm like, yeah, like I feel like I look so Filipino. And then when we came back inside, I ran into Bella of Valentine Vintage, who was very lovely, and we followed each other a little while ago. And I was recounting the story because I guess she knows Denny, and I said, hey Bella, this is a random question. What ethnicity do you think I am? She goes, Filipino. And I'm like, I mean, clearly there's something there. Either Danny doesn't see race.
Hey, he's an anti-racist.
Yeah, he's colorblind or whatever. But no, that was really really funny and very very wholesome. But yeah, I got to shoot with Denny, take some photographs of him, which was really nice. I also saw Dandy Wellington at
Oh,
the
yeah,
at
I saw those
Alfargo's.
photos. That's cool.
Yeah, it was really nice. It's kind of funny because I've only run into him like in person. I think the one time at Dapper Day, where he made the joke about us looking very Drakes. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you remember that, but that was really funny. But yeah, no, it was really fun to see him, and like again, well, everyone there made me feel so welcome. But we talked for a little bit, and it's kind of funny because like I grew up seeing his photos on Tumblr posted by Rose Callahan, and of course reading I Am Dandy, and so it's a little bit like surreal to have those like that moment of like, oh my gosh, like this is someone I've seen photographs of. And that's kind of like how I felt like meeting like Mark Cho in person like a couple of years ago, and of course seeing Simon, but then also doing the thing of like I'm gonna photograph them, and like oh my god, like I'm capturing them how I see them in this moment. And I mean, it's just a fit pick, but like it just feels nice, and that was really cool, for me to do with Dandy. And he was wearing a really cool outfit. He's wearing like a boater with like a Donegal, like a blue Donegal Norfolk suit, and he had his little vintage suitcase that has like a whole like whatever he bought with him. Like that was really really nice. Other people there, of course, Gianni and Vero. Annie was there selling. Shittage. It was fun. Like after I talked to everybody, like I hadn't seen yet, and then after making the rounds of the items, I just like drank and hung out. Like that. It's kind of like at the flea market where like yeah you're walking, but also like when you went to friends, you kind of just stay at their booth, you just talk the whole time. But it was like that, except this is at a like yuppie co-working space, so like there's like couches and like tables to sit at and just do that. Um, they also had the cheapest cocktail of the entire weekend, which was the entire week, which was $10 before tax and tip.
Wow.
That's also pretty
Oh
good
man.
for like LA standards too, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're not doing like what do you call it, like top bottom shelf or like a well drink or whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
like so that was great. That was so good. Also, again, getting drunk at El Fargo is because not eating anything and just going straight there.
And you don't have to drive. That's the best part of being in New York.
Yeah, but no one wants to walk drunk either. Like that's not like a fun
That's
thing to
kind of like
do.
an adventure.
I, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right. I
It
just don't want
depends on
to.
how drunk. If you're like really drunk, that's not fun. But if you're just a little
Yeah,
buzzed, it's kind of like you
that's
just get
that's
goofy with it.
that's true. I'm a very goofy person, so it just amps it
Yeah.
up. Again, remember I had to
Extremely.
get those little donut. I had to get those donut band-aids for my fucking blisters on my pinky and fourth toes on my right foot.
Meanwhile, I have
So
to get donut band-aids for my donuts because I keep ripping in them in half to
are they the
dunk.
size of the donut?
Yeah,
So
they're
you're
just
making like a sandwich of you're
I
like
mean by
making a
donut
sandwich.
band-aids, I mean just a roll of like masking tape that I used to hold my donuts together.
They're-
Band-aids
yeah,
used
they're
for
not.
donuts, not shaped
Yeah,
Yeah,
donuts.
yeah. That's
exactly.
very funny. Um, yeah, no, it was. Who else did I see there? I mean, there was just so many things, so many people. Zoe from Ram's Head Vintage. Darren, oh my God, one of the best guys of Inspo. Was really great. He was there for that. Buzz of the anthology also came by for that, which was really nice. So I got to see him again one more time before he left. And Chadbourne was also there too, which was really
Nice.
fun. He was a little bit busy that week, so he couldn't come out. But I'm glad we ran into each other and we did a little fit check, and I again got to photograph him. That's also where I saw Connor. Before we did the Mad King George event.
Hmm.
Later on. So him coming up there with a very casual outfit, which was nice. But if I can talk briefly about the offerings, it was very interesting because I had heard from some DMs that Alfargo's has shifted a little bit from being less of a garage sale and more of like just like curated selling. And that is largely true because this is like what like the 30th edition or whatever of Alfargo's because it happens like once a month for the past like 2 or almost 3 years. And so like, all the main guys who work in the industry like Stefan who used to work at or who worked at the Armory and other guys like who worked at Drake's or whatever, like their collection of stuff that they've owned that they've gotten rid of is like gone. Like the Stefan is also like running the show now. He's not selling, so that also affects it. However, there were a lot of those things. Like I saw a lot of like pre-owned armory stuff. Um, Not a lot of Drake's, but more so vintage ties. A lot of Polo Ralph Lauren, which kind of makes sense, like as like the vintage but like contemporary menswear kind of a thing. Um, and a lot of like kind of designer stuff. Like there's some EG there. There's some like Armani as well, and of course like, a handful of curated sellers who like sell like vintage Brooks Brothers, vintage 70s, 60s stuff like that. Occasionally some 30s things, some like OCBDs from like Land's End, Brooks Brothers, etc. Lots of like trench coats because I guess obviously there's more coats in New York, and so you can find those more easily. Um, but yeah, there was a lot of that stuff, and I think what makes it interesting and for us here in LA, you can find the stuff at the flea market, but flea markets are not specifically for classic menswear. And even vintage sellers who focus on menswear don't have as much tailored clothing. If they do, it's like from the 20s or whatever, and it's like fucked up because it's like been. I mean, back then you would use it till it fell apart, and now it's more for people who are in Inspiration LA who like they want to find a 20s jacket that's like shredded, but like it's just cool and a collector's item. But here is like no, here is vintage stuff, maybe not as old as the 20s or the 30s, but like still in that vein of like dressing the way we all do. And I think that's what makes Alfargo's such an interesting place and such a it's prized for that reason. It's like I don't know where else you could get Levi's 501s, but also a sack blazer and a knit tie from like I don't yeah from Drake's or something like that, or you can maybe find like Alden loafers or Carmina's or like a Barber jacket like all in one spot and styled and merchandised and displayed the way that we typically like it. That's what makes it just such a must if you're hopefully if you're in New York while this is happening, or if you're in New York in general. Like if you're into menswear, like it just makes sense to go to Alfargo's. And like even if the guys who run it aren't exactly selling their stuff anymore, it feels like it's for enthusiasts. It's a community first in that way. It doesn't feel like again some of the other smaller flea markets, which are all very nice, but again it feels not competitive, but like it's just kind of disjointed. It's like a bunch of cool people independently selling things in one location, versus here it's like these are all friends of each other, to an extent, and they're all selling, different clothes. I mean, maybe because it's so focused, you can see the nuances. Like, okay, I want to get Zoe's and Shane for like the New England and like Long Island stuff that you could find outside of New York. And okay, maybe I want this guy because he's got like a Supreme tracksuit that you could wear underneath your Barber jacket. Like, there's just different guys you could do for that kind of stuff. And so yeah, it's just it's really special, and like seeing everyone just interact with each other and constantly taking photographs. I think that's the biggest thing. It's like seeing Zane move around, taking film photos, taking journalistic shots. Like it's just yes, there's a kind of a push for like content and branding, but it does feel like it's coming from a place of like enthusiasm that I just is not it's like yeah it's like missing from like LA flea markets. I mean if anything it's probably closer to like the AAPI like Asian markets that I would see, like where there's like this kind of like theme around community there. Like I feel like that makes sense. And so like again like Alfargo's is like multicultural, but like it feels in that same vein of like hey we all there's like kind of like a mission or a theme here, and it kind of brings us together. And I mean, I'm very proud of like Stefan, Elias, Zane, and Nick for like making this happen, and like seeing so many people come through and feel so welcomed, and helping me feel pretty good, because I'm sure that they all know my apprehensions about like the social media aspect and being overly commercialized and being too much into it. But like it's all that was like gone as soon as I walked in for like a couple of steps. All that to say, like you both gotta go is what I'm saying.
I really want to go.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I didn't really buy anything. Like I feel like we all have a lot of clothes, and MJ benefits from being a guy who buys my clothes. I feel like it's fine, but like I mean, just being able to see the stuff and like the community is just really great there. I think the only downside is that there's nothing else cool in the area. So like if you got like your fill from one day, like
You're good.
There's no reason to like stick around, unless you just really wanted to hang out, which is what I did. Um, and at the end of both days is like when we still hung out with everyone, and like again, shout out Nick who wrangled like all of us, like the MFA guys and Alfargo's guys, to go get Indian food at a place and not get laughed away for bringing like 20 people to a restaurant, and having him know the places to go is crazy. Like if we are hanging out and like I had 20 people, I'd be like, I literally don't know where to go other than like a cheesecake factory or like a BJ's, and then we'd all sit like separately. You know what I mean? Like I don't know where we would go, but Nick just knows. Or I mean, and shout out to the staff who like helped us like all sit in like one long table. But yeah, and then after that we went out, we went to Romeo's, and then they went to KGB bar again. I was like, nope, I'm going home after Romeo's, dude. I'm like, I'm done. I will say on that Saturday night we did walk from 25th down to like St. Mark's or wherever Romeo's was, because Nick didn't trust us to all get on the subway and coordinate that, which is fair. It's like hurting not just cats but like school children like in New York. I mean, and I'm sure local New York people and kids are fine at it, but I remember going in high school and everyone was so scared of the subway when we went because we had never seen or taken anything like that. Us little SGV kids on our little corral tour.
Them clouds look so scary, or those trains in the movie.
What? What's that
reference
to?
The movie where the train comes right at the screen.
Oh, that's what I'm
saying. You guys saw that, and you were like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, we don't want to be that. But yeah, I mean, Fargo's was like probably the highlight of the trip. And it gave me something. I mean, it gave me like a low key thing to do for Saturday and Sunday. Like I didn't go anywhere else. I could have gone to like another museum. I could have walked through Central Park, but I don't fucking care, dude. I want to just hang out. I want to drink. I want to hang out with my friends. I want to talk to people. I want to get a cool fit off or whatever. Oh yeah. Also, Avery Trufelman was there of Articles of Interest. I didn't really talk to her. I just said like, "Hi, I'm a fan," and I took a photo, and like that's it. She doesn't know who I am. She doesn't listen. She doesn't know what the hell this is. She's a real podcaster. She's not three guys in their bedrooms remotely
That would be a good name for the podcast. Three guys in their bedrooms.
Guys in their bedrooms.
Three guys in their bedrooms, like 50-ish miles apart. At least two of them. Just wait. I mean, that's basically what's going to be next year, right? When we change the format slightly of the podcast. So it's going to be. Yep, that's
the
right.
Bedroom Boys.
Season 3.
Yeah.
Because season 1 is interviews, season 2 is philosophy, and now season 3 is fucking shooting the fucking shit, I guess.
Yeah. We're fucking shooting.
Yeah, we're shooting shit in the barrel.
Shooting up.
It just sinks to the bottom.
That's right. Shoot. Who put all this shit in the barrel?
I'm gonna fill it full of bullet holes.
Who's shitting in this barrel?
Yeah. Anything else you guys are wondering about New York before we close out of here? Because I know before that, I wrote my long memoir about this. You guys can read it on the blog and see all the cool pictures. But is there anything else that you're curious about?
When are we going?
I don't know.
2026 or 2025? Sorry, it's not next year.
I mean, maybe. I guess. Yeah. I mean, I can go next year, but also, I can also go the year after that.
And the year after that.
I still don't think I could live there. I mean, it's also like I know people don't go out every single day, but also I feel like that first month that I live there or whatever, the first half a year, I'm gonna go out every single day, and that might make me hate living there.
Well, like we were talking about, it's like people. LA does have a slower pace, but listen, I kind of like it. I kind of like it.
I mean, I got to see you guys this week, so I feel like that was good. Like it really. Yeah, I manifested it by venting about it, so that was a good moment there.
Yeah,
manifestation. It's called secreting. I made that joke by the way, because someone said, "Oh, it's like that book," and I was like, "Oh yeah." So like, I guess if you follow the teachings, you're secreting. And the guy was like, "That's really funny." I go, "Thank you."
Yeah, just a random guy that just like
just one person that you told, or is it like?
It was Paul who took the video of my pants, and I bought the kimono from him, the Parker kimono.
Yeah,
but
nice.
At least I think it was him. I was next to his booth when it was happening.
Pretty good.
I guess some of the cool stuff I saw there. I saw a Ralph Lauren polo coat, and that was They wanted a lot of money for it, but also it was too big for me, so I did not
Too big.
buy that.
Yeah, anything
There's
else that you
also-
didn't buy but you were considering?
I mean, there's a lot of ring jacket armory stuff that I was like, I don't need more of this because I bought 2 already. Um, I did. Oh yeah, the suede buck penny loafers from the armory, which I mentioned at the top of the episode, which was very. I mean that's the thing I could just buy right now and they'll mail it to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of cool. Yeah, little white loafers, like little low vamp white loafers, kind of sick.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. What else did I consider buying? Oh yeah, when I went to 10-foot single, there was a couple of tweed jackets I did not buy. There was a couple of jaunty scarves I did not buy. Um, there were pink flat front like Nantucket red pants, but they were part polyester, and I was like, I don't think I care that much about having pink pants. Also, it's not the season anymore for them, so I did not buy those. I did see another LL Bean sport vest at 10-foot single. And I've been saying I want to get a slightly bigger one because I am outgrowing my size 40. However, this was like a 44. Maybe I could have bought it for Spencer, actually, I guess.
Hey,
I
there
guess
you go.
I'm sorry. But I did not buy it for myself because it was really big. And I was like, yeah, this is not it. So, Spencer, I mean, we could message it if you want to finally get one.
Maybe.
It was
We'll
like
have to...
$300. So that's
Okay. Not
at
terrible.
about the because I feel like it's worth 250 or 200.
Yeah.
But I would
At
say
least
if it was
two.
350, if it was more than 350, I would say like that's not it. And
Mhm.
that's a dig, excuse me, a dig at American Rag in Los Angeles, who has the size in a 42, which fits me, and they want 750 for it. And I asked them,
Ridiculous.
That's crazy.
I have a size 40. Can you trade? They go, sorry, we don't do trades. I'm like, okay. And every time I go there, it's still fucking there. So, fuck you. I could take it off your hands right now, and maybe someone will buy the smaller size or whatever. So,
Yeah.
because I think we all need to have them. You know,
Everybody on Earth should have one.
that's right.
Yeah.
You know,
It's my first
I mean, my
policy.
ex-girlfriend has one. MJ
Yeah.
MJ has one. I have one. We're just missing Spencer now. So, you know.
There you go.
It'll be a really funny foursome, I guess.
Yeah.
The funny,
but yeah.
the funny foursome.
That's,
That's
right.
another
Yeah.
good name for the podcast, even though there's
Yeah.
3 of us.
The fourth person is menswear.
What's a T word? Trio something. But like, what would it be instead of funny foursome?
What's a T
The
word
tickling
that's a synonym?
trio.
The tantalizing trio.
The tantalizing trio.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, everyone needs to call us that now.
Yeah, the trifling trio.
The trifling trio. I like that. We are trifling. We constantly trifle in others' affairs.
Yeah, I love having affairs.
I love having affairs, and I love trifling in them.
Ooh, and yeah. Any other questions? Anything else you guys are curious about? I mean, I wish I had food recommendations because I mean, again, I had udon, and I had a huge dosa, and then I had straight up just slices of pizza, raisin canes, like a big fried raisin.
In the shape of a cane.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's basically. Oh yeah, and Alsatian food, right? But like that's about it. I didn't have anything other than that. In terms of drinks, I had a chocolate Negroni, which was a Negroni with a chocolate, like a caramelized chocolate, I guess peel, like an orange peel, I guess. And I brought it outside, and it fell off my drink and went to the ground. So I just had a
Oh, man.
very
Just a
expensive
regular-
regular Negroni. Yeah, that bar Romeo's was like $20 pre-tax and tip cocktail.
Wild.
And so
Wow.
when I told someone like, "Oh, I got it, no worries," I'm like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have said that actually." It's fine. It's New York. Well, yeah, I guess that's the thing. I really liked in New York where it's like people were very much like, "Oh, don't worry about it, man. We'll get it next time." And I think I'm like, dude, like, thanks. You know,
Yeah.
like that's really cool. I mean, I guess we kind of do that here, but also I think I've already introduced the thing of I figure it out for you. So it's like I'm very like will pay the exact amount. So
Yeah.
it's different in New York, I guess. I think it's because
It's
here we have more
different.
expenses because of gas and car
Yeah.
insurance. And so I think that we are a little bit more of money pinching
I
here.
need to remember the name of my favorite bar in Manhattan that I think gave me COVID.
Oh no.
And you went to the COVID bar, right? I think that's what
I
it was
went.
called?
It was called the
Welcome to the
COVID bar, the COVID-19 bar. But no, it was this incredible bar where
Yeah.
they had. This is crazy for New York. First of all, $3 beers, $7 pitchers.
Okay.
And here's the thing:
There you go.
with purchase, free hot dogs.
Oh, yes, yes. I just saw a TikTok about this place, and I lost the name again, too.
It's
So
It's incredible. It was the best
Yeah.
bar of all time. I've been looking for that in California, but it's gone.
in California.
It's completely gone in California.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, I need
the
to-
election's
yeah.
coming up.
That's right. Wait for our election episode. Is this coming out on election week? This might actually come out
Oh no!
because right, yeah.
maybe
as of right
maybe
now,
by then my Trump impression will no longer be funny because it's hysterical right now.
You had
it'll
to
just be
there.
like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Well,
Anyway.
maybe, I don't know, election live stream or something. I'll be like hosting a party, but I'll just be on my phone like this.
Yeah.
Just like
Um,
live updates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Live from Update. It's Donald
Live
Trump.
from Washington D.C.
Donald J.
It's Donald Trump.
Trump.
That's right.
and musical guest SZA.
Okay. There it is. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. If you guys if you want to see more photos and more of a intimate write up of my thoughts and everything like that, you guys can go to a little bit of rest.com and read all about the New York trip there. I guess I gotta find something else to post on the social for the podcast that I did not post on my personal. But you can go follow the podcast at Style and Direction, all spelled out. You can go also if you want to support the podcast. Hey, if you want to fund the trip that these guys will go to New York, you can go to patreon.com/downdirection. $5 a month gives you access to our archive of bonus episodes where we talk about movies and other stuff, and also gives you access to our Discord community. And so you can do that, which will, $5 a month get split 3 ways. That'll pay for a ticket in like 50 years.
There you go.
$10 a month, which is our preferred one. Nothing else is different, but we do thank you at the end of each episode. MJ, who are we thanking?
We are thanking our Sadcast fanatics, Shane Curry, Philip Gregard, Henrik Wilberg, Mason Ritchie, and Alexander Batten.
We appreciate you guys so much. We love you all. You can follow me at Ethan M. Wong.
I'm at Spencer DSO.
I'm at Aya MJ.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.